Thanks for joining us. I'm Adam Cooperstein. It is hard to call a day a success when hundreds of people died from coronavirus, but New York did reach a level that is lower than we've seen all month long. In the past 24 hours, New York State reporting 367 new deaths and about 5,000 new positive cases, and that is also the lowest number of positives in almost a week. Now Governor Cuomo is starting to reveal this plan to reopen the state. He says it'll happen in waves and regionally. Meanwhile, Mayor de Blasio says he wants city leaders to create a roadmap for reopening by June 1st. And the mayor today creating task forces focused on reopening but also recovery. We have team coverage on all these developments for you, starting with News 4's Adam Harding. He's on the west side at the USNS Comfort, which just crossed a big milestone, Adam.
And Adam, that milestone is they no longer have any patients. The final patient leaving the USNS Comfort behind us. This, as the ship in the coming days is set to leave New York sometime by midweek. Tonight, signs of improvement. The final patient aboard the USNS Comfort has been discharged as the ship readies to leave New York in the coming days.
Happy Sunday.
This as the governor this morning outlined early plans to reopen the state.
We talk about reopening, we talk about reimagining. Let's start to put some meat on the bones. We're going to reopen in phases.
Phase 1 will involve construction and manufacturing businesses. As for a timeline, that still remains unclear. We know the stay-at-home orders extend through May 15th. Now it appears upstate could reopen before New York City and surrounding county.
I don't want to just reopen. We learned a lot of lessons here, painfully, but we learned a lot of lessons. And that's what reimagine means to me. How do we take the lessons we learned, take this pause in life, and say, when we reopen, we're going to be better for it?
Everyone wants to know about the restart, and that discussion is going to happen over these next few weeks.
Mayor de Blasio today announcing a new task force who will develop the framework by June 1st to help in the recovery.
When we restart when we have evidence. Look, we see some states around the country rushing to restart their economies. I'm worried for them. I'm worried for their people. There's no question that so many of our small businesses are going to struggle to come back. But there is, in my mind, also no question that New York City will come back strong, stronger than ever.
So, Adam, we talk about that phase 1 with the construction and the manufacturing jobs. That will be phase 1. Before we can even talk about phase 2, all of the numbers would continue to have to trend downwards for at least 14 consecutive days. As for what is involved with phase 2, that's where things get a little tricky. It would be more up to certain businesses where they have to weigh out the risk assessment and the exposure level. That is something that the state and the city right now is still grappling. That's why no timeline so far has been put forward. We're live tonight on the West Side. I'm Adam Harding, News 4, New York.
And sure, at least we're on the way with those numbers trending down. Adam, thank you. There is encouraging news in New Jersey tonight as well. The state reporting 75 deaths in the past 24 hours, a decrease, but the state saw an increase in the number of new infections reported. And News 4's Checky Beckford is live in Jersey City with Governor Phil Murphy's new message for residents. Checky.
Well, Adam, the governor promising again to reveal his broad blueprint for reopening the state. This time he says he'll do it tomorrow. Meanwhile, here in Jersey City, some signs that restrictions are beginning to lift. 5 of the largest parks also set to reopen tomorrow. Governor Murphy on NBC's Meet the Press today, urging New Jerseyans to hold out just a bit longer.
Understanding the data right now is that we are still a number of weeks away. The fatalities continue to be significant each and every day.
The curve in cases continues to flatten, but the state's death toll is now higher than losses suffered in Vietnam, the Korean War, and World War I. The governor weighing whether to reopen regionally or as a whole.
While we haven't made a decision on that, we're going to move as one state, recognizing you've got density issues in the north that you just don't have in the south.
In Newark, several streets will be closed tomorrow as part of the mayor's Be Still Mondays initiative. The city has taken aggressive action to enforce social distancing, issuing hundreds of summonses. Instead of closures, Jersey City will reopen 5 parks Monday.
I think you need to be realistic that as the weather turns, it's healthier to give people an opportunity to go somewhere in a controlled environment.
There will be restrictions. Playground and basketball equipment will remain closed, and organized sports are still off limits as the city tries to strike a balance between freedoms and safety. It's important to note again, though, we're talking only about Jersey City parks. State parks at this point are still closed. We may, though, see those be some of the first restrictions lifted statewide. We'll have to wait until tomorrow when the governor makes that announcement. We're live in Jersey City this evening. Checky Beckford, News 4 New York.
Okay, Checky, thank you. And a frustrating afternoon for people in New Jersey applying for unemployment. The website used to certify benefits there has been down for hours. And this is the message that keeps popping up for anyone trying to access the site. New Jersey's Department of Labor says they're going to extend the window for anyone trying to certify benefits for the week. State officials say they've seen a 600% increase in the number of people receiving unemployment benefits this year, of course, because of COVID-19. Connecticut revealing its lowest number of confirmed COVID cases in several days today. 687 people tested positive in the past 24 hours. That ups the number of infections to more than 25,000 statewide. Nearly 2,000 people have died in the state of Connecticut. And across the tri-state, more than 422,000 have been reported to have been infected with COVID-19. Almost 25,000 people have now died.